Due to the length of that game at Tropicana Field between the Twins and the Rays, we now join in progress the basketball game being played in Orlando. It's the NBA playoffs on Sportsnet 1 featuring the Hawks and the Magic.
And Heinrich goes back-to-back on field goals. It's an 8-point Hawk lead.
I like what I'm seeing from the guards. Heinrich is doing what he's supposed to do, keep Nelson under control. He's scoring, and Joe Johnson's off to a good start.
Howard pitched it out as he felt the pressure. Nice repost by Jameer Nelson, and Dwight Howard will come to the line.
Now, Kirk Heinrich, we know, has a tough defensive assignment here, and then also get this team into the half-court game. Now, he's 2 for 2. He's looking good. Now, right here, how about that for a smack in the head and no call? And it definitely, sent Jason Collins back. But any time that Dwight Howard reposts, he's so difficult because you're playing behind him to begin with. So he's going to move you inside of that defensive circle.
Howard makes his first QB, and the foul on Collins was his second, so he goes to the bench. Zaza Pachulia from the Republic of Georgia, part of the former Soviet Union, comes in. He brings a great defensive energy. Doesn't bring the bulk that Collins does, but he's a good defender.
He's a good defender, and he can score the ball. See, that's the plus.
Yes.
He can shoot that 15, 17-foot jump shot, and he's a very tough guy, just like Collins. But what I like so far is Dwight Howard is meeting the challenge. Remember, he led the league in foul shot attempts at 11.5 a game. The big thing for him is, come on, you got to shoot over that 59% as we're at playoff time now.
Launch three by Josh Smith. No good. Rebound Anderson. Only Dwight Howard has scored for the Magic. He has all 7. 3-second violation. Second one called on Orlando. That's 5 turnovers on the Magic here in the early going.
Well, look, give the Atlanta players a lot of credit. They're jamming the dribblers out high, and then the pass is so long that it's really a difficult pass. And also the bench over there, they're riding the referees. Everybody in the building is yelling 3 if you're an Atlanta fan here.
Double comes to Joe Johnson. Tries to find the open man. The ruler was knocked away by the Magic, so Smith was able to regain it, and Dwight Howard is called for the foul.
Now, Josh Smith has an excellent inside game. You would like to see him stay in that area, mainly because he's left-handed. He can hit the jump hook, and he can also hit the catch, turn, and face, that 10 to 12-foot jump shot. But the big key now is Dwight Howard's got to stay out of foul trouble.
Smith missed the first. The NBA playoffs continue. Tomorrow, TNT, 1 o'clock Eastern. Memphis at San Antonio. Then on ABC, New Orleans at the Lakers. 3:30 Eastern to tip time. Game 2 of this series on NBA TV Tuesday night. And our ESPN doubleheader Friday will be Celtics-Knicks at the Garden and Lakers at New Orleans. QB Heather and I will be down in New Orleans for that one. Of course, we have Game 2 of our nighttime doubleheader, the 4th and final game of Day 1. Portland and Dallas, the 3-6 matchup in the West. And Pachulia fouls Dwight Howard. So, Hubie, here we are, less than 8 minutes in, and with 3 fouls on the big guy.
Well, just watch what happens now as he goes down in there. See how he spins back? If you try to play him on the one side, he's so wide that he just pins you. And then if you reach over, you cannot reach over. If you're going to play behind him, keep the forearm in his back and try to bully him out of that post area.
Only man who scored for the Magic, Howard, aggressively across the lane. Rebounded by Josh Smith.
Let's face it now, Dwight Howard has had a lot of catches already in this game, Mike. He showed us the left hand, and he also showed us the right-handed hook.
Heinrich steps into a 3. Rebounded by Smith. A lot of playoff experience on this Atlanta team, including Heinrich, who had a couple of good runs with the Bulls.
Oh, boy.
Howard, big rebound.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't have body contact that time with the head of Pachulia.
Nelson gave up his body. Howard inside. Counted and a foul.
Good defense that time on Jameer Nelson. Forced him into a bad shot. But Pachulia gets caught falling asleep. Just watch. He goes to help, but he doesn't go for the rebound. And give Howard a lot of credit. Remember, we told you now, in this kind of a game, low scoring, offensive rebounding is key. because if you get that rebound within 6 to 8 feet, 1, a high percentage shot, 2, you got a percentage shot and a chance to get fouled for a three-point play the old way.
You see that Howard now has the all-time Magic record for playoff points. That foul on Pachulia was his second, so he goes to the bench. And Etan Thomas checks in for Atlanta. So this is not the Thrashers. This is not the NHL team. It's just a line change. This is the third center now here in the first quarter.
That's right.
But they're going to use those fouls.
Now, but fortunately, they have guys that are big and tough that can play that.
There's Thomas inside, blocked by Howard. Oh.
Wow, that's Dwight Howard at his defensive best. Now just watch where he comes from. He comes down inside, he lets the release go, and then he gets the block. Now, Mike, we all know that he was Defensive Player of the Year 09, Defensive Player in 10. He'll be the Defensive Player again this year.
Joe Johnson missed. You're projecting that one, huh? I think you're right on the money. Still no one else has scored for the Magic. Jason Richardson inside. Pitches it out. Anderson to tie it. Rebound Josh Smith, Atlanta.
I like the fact, though, they continue to keep Jameer Nelson from scoring. Now, when they're kicking out, they're doing a pretty nice job on the rotations out. Can they keep that up for 48 minutes?
They're coming to double Joe Johnson. He's getting rid of it, but guys aren't making the shots. Horford didn't, and the foul's going to stay down here on Orlando, on Ryan Anderson on the other side of this timeout. Stan Van Gundy can't believe it. 2:41 left in the first. 13-10, tough early.
97-89 win, and Derrick Rose bailing out the Bulls in the final minute. 39 points, finds Kyle Korver for a tie-breaking 3. Bulls escape with a victory. Back to Mike and Hubie.
Thank you, Hannah, with 2 great games there. And on ABC tomorrow, we'll have game 1 of Chris Paul and the New Orleans Hornets, who coverage will begin with the Buick Regal NBA Countdown at 3 Eastern. Then you'll see the 2-time defending champs start their run for a third on your ABC station. Mike Tirico, Hubie Brown, Heather Cox with you here in Orlando. All 10 Magic points scored by Dwight Howard. It's a 3-point Hawk lead.
Now, Jamal Crawford is in at the point guard position. Joe Johnson at the 2 guard. Marvin Williams at the small forward position.
And Crawford knocks down the shot. He was the 6th man of the year in the NBA last year, scoring down a bit this year, but still very effective off the bench. And for Orlando, Gilbert Arenas checked in at the last whistle for Jameer Nelson. Howard right around Etan Thomas with ease.
Now you can see it all today. The left-handed hook, the right-handed spin move, off the dribble, come up on the other side. Etan Thomas tried to get body contact, no call. That gives the dunk. You gotta have the body contact, and then force no dunking.
Johnson on the drive inside, no good. Here's Howard with the rebound.
Now, can someone for Orlando please score? Score a best other than Dwight Howard. Somebody, please. The rest of the guys are 0 for 10.
Taken away by Marvin Williams, the former number 2 overall pick, has it knocked away by Hedo Turkoglu, and it will stay down here with the Hawks. Hubie, you think these are important minutes when Heinrich's on the bench and Crawford's in at the point guard for the Hawks? Why?
Well, Jamal Crawford, basically, we know when he's out there with Joe Johnson, Crawford's going to control the ball, and whatever they're running in their motion game or what, the big thing is that he's going to score the ball. You know that he and Joe Johnson are looking to score. But you have to realize, in this series, you have an advantage with Horford at the power forward, and then Josh Smith taking Turkoglu, but not outside, down inside.
Crawford used the Horford screen, missed it. Turkoglu hit the deck hard as he was knocked down by Josh Smith, who picks up the personal foul, his first.
Now, I'm coaching Orlando right now. I look at the score. We're down 15-12. Outside of Howard, the rest of us haven't had a field goal. Right. We're in good shape, all right? We're really in good shape here right now.
But let me ask you this. As Turkoglu's going to come to the line for these 2 free throws, Are you worried about the tempo of the game? Because these are the kind of scores Atlanta beat you with this year.
No, that's what we brought out in the stand-up, and that is the tempo. There's no doubt about that, Mike. But the key is, in the previous games playing the 85, you controlled Dwight Howard.
Right.
Okay? Now, but he's off and going big. Now, the half-court defense early on, give Atlanta a lot of credit. Playing great. But the key for them now is, can they sustain it for the 48 minutes?
Hey, there you go. Took 10 minutes and 40 seconds to finally get a non-Dwight Howard point. One of the guys at the Elias Sports Bureau were about to do the search on the last time in a playoff game somebody scored all of his team's points in the first quarter. But you can suspend that search now. Turkoglu called here for the foul, his first.
Now, that was a beautiful setup. Hit the high post and then cut Josh Smith right in front of the basket. Turkoglu is going to be behind him, and then if he's behind him, he's going to foul him. Just what we just saw. You got to create an inside game here. This is good right here. One-on-one, where's the double team?
You got to do it, especially with Howard out of there. Turkoglu knocked it away. Here goes Gilbert Arenas trying to find Turkoglu instead of going for the score. And the foul will be called. They're over the limit, so we'll get free throws.
Well, Gilbert knew that he was being run down by one of the better shot blockers in the league. But at the other end of the floor, when Horford and Josh Smith get one-on-one, come on, they've got to get high percentage shots. Here, right here, there's Josh Smith coming. He's an outstanding athlete at 6'10", left-handed, great shot blocker.
Gilbert Arenas, who was a playoff stud in his Washington days, missed the free throw here. There have been many knee injuries to talk about with Arenas over time, but just take your mind back to those playoff series, especially 2006, when he struck a nice shot here. We had a sub first. Yeah, they had blown in the sub. And a nice hand for J.J. Redick. Who has become a fan favorite here in Orlando. Missed the last 17 games with a lower abdominal strain. And has not been out here since March 11th.
Big thing that you get with Redick is constant motion. A guy that's going to shoot over 40% in threes for you, and then an excellent foul shooter at 88%. What they're hoping for now, will he have his legs, and with the legs comes a high percentage of three-point shooting. And that's the big question mark today.
It's a question mark of this guy, too. The left knee, the left calf problems that really stopped him over the last couple of seasons. Arenas back in 06 against Cleveland in the playoffs when LeBron James played Cleveland had 34 point per game average in the series. Here, good hustle as he takes it away. Goes to Redick, who's back.
Nice.
They need those two guys, Hubie.
All right. Yep. Well, first of all, Arenas is guarding Marvin Williams down in the post. I mean, come on, he's going to give him like 5 inches.
Spin move by Smith, and Josh able to knock down the field goal. His first, he missed his first three from the field.
Now, this is what Josh Smith has got to do. Stop playing outside of 20 feet and play 10 feet down, because you have advantage no matter if Turkoglu or even his backup plays you.
And Dwight Howard's not on the floor to guard the rim. Here's Turkoglu. That's three.
Turkoglu read that perfectly. When they got that switch, he had Etan Thomas on him. And Etan Thomas gave him the space.
Horford for three. That's off. Weak side rebound Williams. Too late. End of the quarter. Orlando trailed most of the way. Only got 2 field goals from players other than Dwight Howard. But after one, in the 4-5 matchup in the East, Game 1, the Magic lead the Hawks, 19-17.